Good morning everyone, and welcome to another AFK journey video. My name is Jedidiah, and I'll be talking to you today about the Clashfronts aspect of the game. Yet again, this is game 1, round 5, and I haven't seen any of this, so we're just going to do this on the fly. Let's see, Clashfronts, this will be the results for the final round. Probably not going to be a whole lot of interesting results, but maybe we can dig into something and find something entertaining in here. So here's our results, and we're running through our... Actually, we are doing something a little interesting. I forgot about this. We are doing a little test with Yantron and me on the top 2 tiles there. And it's literally just him solo and me solo versus their teams. And it looks like Yantron's got a big lead on, well, not a big lead, but he's getting siege magic used on him. And he's 600 to 1500. I'm 1200 to 1999. And we're going to see those numbers. And hopefully Yantron and I both come up with a big win. And Shun's there too. They didn't, I was supposed to be there solo. They didn't move their guys off. That's why we had a big lead. So we'll get to see at least Yantron solo that entire Arctic group that's coming through. Whereas I'm not soloing those guys. I should get some action. So Yantron got a 7 win streak. Good. We'll get to see what team he's using that did that. Andon got an 8 win streak helping me out on my tile, even though I should have been solo. Alright. Yantron won solo, and then I didn't really get to do a whole lot. It looks like most of my teammates did all the heavy lifting before it even got to my teams. So that puts us at 40, 1670, and 60 for the melee trial. Well, we'll get to see what my teams do clearing trials and see which one of my teams is best as far as clearing trial stages. That'll be interesting, I guess, to a certain degree. At least for me it will be. Give me some information on which teams perform best for that part of the Clashfronts. But yeah, as you can see, there's no real competition. These guilds didn't have a chance against us. Alright, yeah, across the board points, and then Yantron's the #1 contributor, I'm #2 contributor, Ike, Amdal, Immortal, Cataracts rounding out the top 6. Alright, and this is going to bump us up to Legendary. Arctic Circle finished 2nd with 513, so they just edged out the Explorer, and that'll bump them up to Legendary, and they will stay epic and compete against some of the lower level guilds that they're it's trying to bump tiers around so you can end up facing teams or guilds that are actually on your level. So let's take a look at this one where I'm fighting with, oh, this is my new Gala. So let's take a quick look at this. It's probably not going to be a whole lot to see because you can see he didn't get much done. But it'll show you the formation that I was wanting to show off yesterday. Because yesterday I had Nero still in there, but now I have Fedor in there. And I've got Dunlinger in there is basically an ultimate counter. Since my group is heavily ultimate based, like Gala, and I'll probably do a video. I'm going to try to do one today about Gala and PvP and what I think about her abilities. But long story short, she is a very ultimate based competitor, right? So she has to get her ultimate off in order for the group to be successful. And Dunlinger's stopping the other ultimates while she's doing hers. And you can see this is a huge melee group, right? She's in the back. There's no real healing. And everybody else is running up front to do as much damage as you can as fast as they can, right? So, and you can see that Gala is getting that ultimate off and doing a lot of damage. She's also doing a little bit of healing. And there's some self-healing going on with some of these abilities that are here. As far as the Phalanx as well, I'm getting Life Drain. To try to give myself some little survivability, but it's basically a nuke team, and it's like, okay, keep them from ulting with Dun, and then get your ult off with Galahad, and that's what Fedor's coming in, is boosting her ult so she can ult really fast, and Xandrock's getting some damage off the front end as well. But the way the group works is Fedor ends up doing a lot of damage depending on who you fight. Xandrock does a lot of damage, and Galahad should be your damage leader in most instances. There are some instances where those two will outdamage her, depending on what group you're facing. Anyway, so that should give you a little explanation on my Galahad, but you'll see a full video on her from me at some point in the near future. So let's take a look at Yantron's tile. But this should be the most interesting thing, is we'll get to see a full breakdown where Yantron basically soloed the Arctic teams all by himself. And now this is where his Sylvana is just destroying people again. Let's take a quick look at that. If you haven't seen the other videos, you'll see where his Sylvana jumps back here and just mows them all down, right? So they're trying to group him up. His Sylvana jumps back here. They're grouped up. They block his ultimate, but it doesn't matter. His Sylvana is just going crazy back here in the back. It's just mowing through people. It's too bad you can't really see the him systematically picking them off because they're all grouped up in one pile.
What is the next quest?
It's a fun little mechanic of that group where she jumps to the back, and everybody else is staying where they're at. And let's take a look at any of the other tiles. Let's see. Ike got to go against them with his. Oh, he was the defense. Okay, his Alsa group, where they're doing a bunch of damage. Let's take a quick look at that one. One people group on his Alsa in the back here. She's unaffected, so it's paying. And he's getting the group up with Iron. And then Alsa's trying to do as much damage to as she can. She's rolling in. Boom. Everything basically dies really fast. It's paying ults, but it said 5 deaths already. Oh, the Thorin wasn't actually dead yet. And that was a defeat for them, not for us. Yeah. Let's see. Let's take a look at any other tiles. There might have been a skirmish. No? No skirmish? No skirmish? Okay. Let's take a quick look at my tile first. And we'll see the siege magic that was deployed. We put a bunch of shields out, but let's see. Shun gets a 3-win streak for us. With his Zany group. Let's take a quick look at that one. Let's see how he has his Zany set up. And he's got, it looks like he's got his towers linked. I personally don't recommend that, because depending on what group you're running against, having the towers linked, a tank could eat all the damage from those towers and just block it. Having them separated makes them randomly target people, and they don't just stick on one person. So it helps break up that damage to where a tank can't just absorb all your Zany tower damage. Let's keep going down that list. Shun gets beat by Ramina, and he beats Ramina with a different group. Shun goes on a 2-win streak with his Shamira. We've seen a bunch of those in the past. We might find one of those again today. Amdal gets a 2-win streak with his Siren group. Alright, here we go. Amdal gets an 8-win streak. Let's take a look at what he's getting that with. Okay, it's the Bonnie Tassie. So, and we've seen a lot of those, but we'll show a quick one where it should be a relatively more competitive one, because it's the one right before he lost. His Iron's going off the same way, and they have an Iron as well, trying to group each other up. He loses his Tassie, which is not good, but then everybody else is getting hit by that seismic and the group damage from Iron. And they just can't recover from it. Bonnie's doing a lot of damage, I would imagine. I need to look at the numbers. Citrana gets her ultimate off to try to finish this out. It looks like they're going against his Thorn. He's the only thing left. Iron gets another ultimate. Bonnie's dead now. And then they finally take down his Thorn, who survived for quite a while.
I want to become as strong as
But yeah, Bonnie got the lion's share, but only edging out Iron, and then Citrana did quite a bit as well to finish up there at the end. So that was a pretty close match because of his stamina deficit. Alright, let's keep going. He gets a nice, solid 8-win streak. Good job, Amdal. Even though you weren't supposed to be there, you're supposed to just be my guys. Alright, so we get to me, and we finally get to my first team. And I get a 5-win streak, but who knows what it could have been. And it was my Gala group, too. So let's, I mean, they didn't even get any damage off. I mean, we'll take a quick look at it. It's too bad we didn't get to see him at his full run, see how many streaks he could have gotten. Because you saw that, look at that. They're just basically dead before anything happens, man. I mean, then almost gets resurrected and back and dies immediately. It was nasty. Wish we could slow that down a little bit, but oh well. Maybe there's a tower guard. Alright, let's take a look at the tower. Alright, trial guard. So when we get to the trial guard, so we got a 9-win streak, which was that with? 9-win streak with my, this is what I would consider my best team. It is my stall slash nuke team. There's very little healing with Damien, but Damien's more or less there is to help stall, because he can't be defeated per se. But if he's the only one left in his item or his invention, his little cart thing that he puts out dies, then you lose the match. So let's take a look at this one. This is the last one I lost, is Byron. So it essentially, Aliseth is usually doing most of my damage. Kulu's there to do a lot of damage. You got Mahira there for crowd control, and then Sada's there in case all of them die for whatever reason. Sada will get your stall out with the combination of Athalia and Damien, because she gets healing and damage from Athalia and Damien does some CC as well. So it's a pretty well-balanced nuke group. It's an extremely expensive group, as you saw. It's a Cell Hypogean group, but it is my favorite group currently, besides my Gala, because my Gala is the new flavor for me. Alright, let's see, we get a 3-win streak with something. That's my Shamira group, Cryo group. It is not strong. I kind of threw it together because it's my 5th team and I needed a 5th team for Vanguard. Obviously not very strong in the Trogard phase, and again, not very strong with my Marsil. I need to boost up my Rowan. Everything else is kind of maxed out except for Hugin. Hugin and Rogan are kind of holding me back there a little bit. I think Hugin is P4 at least, but he just doesn't have a maxed out item. And Rowan is P3, but he doesn't have a maxed out item either. Right, so I need to do a little bit of work to make that ideal, but it's still not bad. It's just not great for Trollguards. And then I only get a 3-win streak with this one, which is my Zany group, which I kind of expect that. It's not my strongest group either. I consider that probably my 3rd strongest group, maybe 4th. Take a look at it real quick. Zany group. You can see how I got my Zany tower separated so they will randomly just shoot people. It's kind of hard to see with all this special effects. Yeah, so now they're shooting that one dude. They're Smoky Mirror. They're jumping all over the place. Now they're shooting Alsa together. Now they're shooting over here. And it just guns them down one by one. And you got Pang there to do a little bit of damage and shielding. And you get Perseus there to do a lot of damage. And depending on which group you're facing, Perseus can be strong. And Radiant's there to buff Perseus essentially. Let's see. There wasn't really anything else there to see, was there? Alright, well, hold on. There could have been. That was where my Zany was, right? Yeah. Let's see what Immortal's doing down here. Immortal gets a 3-win streak with his Siren group. Against Dunlanger, too. They are running it done. Well, I mean, it is a trial guard. Never mind, it's not actually someone running it. Then Amdal finishes it up at the end, which looks like, I think we got the max points there, but I'm not sure. That's going to be the best one, so save it for last. So see if there's anything to see on these 2 tiles. See if... We got a 6-win streak from Cataracts. Very nice. Marcel, which, yeah, very good, very good. We know how Marcel looks, but we'll show you one. She just nukes the hell out of everything really fast, right? She's sealed up, she's getting double buffed. She's getting triple buffed if you count Aliseth, and quadruple buffed if you count the Phantasmal. There she goes, and then Siren's there for extra damage slash artifact negation. You can run a variant of that with different things, but that is one of the better variants as far as having Siren in the group. Frank running a 7-win streak to finish it off. It looks like, hold on. Did we do that whole group? Yeah, with 2 people. We had 2 people. Cataracts finally gets beat, and then Frank runs the table. So we had 2 people hold that whole thing with 2 teams. So that's pretty good. Athalia, Baelrun. Let's take a look at that. Got his Athalia slicing through. His Baelrun's getting powering up. There he's trying to get to full strength, but it's too late. By the time he gets, everybody's already dead. Athalia killed them all, right? So yeah, she did double his damage. He was getting there. He was charging up. Alright, I think that was good for that. We could look at the trial stages. Let's see if there's anything fighting here. Let's say, oh good gosh, Ike had a 9-win streak with his trial guards. With a nice solid Talion Bonnie group done. Not a bad little group, especially with the seismic thrown on there. He gets a 3-win streak with the Shamira comp. Say gets a 3-win streak with his Marcel. That makes me feel a little better that his Marcel isn't performing. It's performing about the same on his trial guards as mine, and his is stronger than mine for sure. Shamira, yeah, gets a 2-win streak with his Marcel. Same composition. And then we get a bunch of back and forth on the trial guards until we get a 2-win streak with Bonnie Tassie from John. And Nico is running the Alsa group. Nami is running. That's the first time I mentioned Nami, I think, on these rounds. But there's Nami getting a 2-win streak with her Bonnie Tassie. Alright, let's see. One more tile, and then we're going to get into the fun stuff. This is the lead-in Ike. Yeah, this is all trial guard stuff. Let's skip all this. Let's get to the fun stuff. Alright, so here's where... Literally, there are only 5 teams from us on this tile. Yantron is all 5 of them, right? He's one of our vanguards. We showed this part of it already. All right, we're going to come down. Immortal gets the win against Grey Ninja and goes on a... Well, Immortal's there with him. He was supposed to be alone. Oh, well. Our test didn't work because it looks like Immortal did a lot of cleaning up for him with a 5-win streak. Good job, Immortal. You weren't supposed to be there, but good job anyway. But yeah, people were getting lazy on game 1 because we were just dominating them, so people just stopped moving their forces around. Alright, then we get Immortal gets beat by Grey Ninja. Then Yantron comes in and starts going on a 7-win streak with his Sylvena. Let's take a look at this one because it was a little closer. Burial got to do a little work. Everybody's getting grouped up. There's a lot of group damage on those 3. Sylvena's coming in, ulting his Callan ults and screams to try to stun everybody. Burial gets the ult. Sylvena ults again, and then it's just all gone. There's one dude left just hanging on by a sliver. And, oh yeah, it was his, you know what? I don't see her that often. I can't remember her name. It's the girl that jumps up in the sky and then comes down. It is, yeah, her. Scarlita. Could not remember Scarlita's name. Alright. And let's take a look at after that streak is over with, when he gets his 7-win streak with his Sylvena. And then it's all over by the end of that. So it's extremely likely that the Immortal streak wouldn't have mattered. He would have gotten a streak just as good, if not better, with his groupings as well. We just wouldn't have gotten to see the full power of what his groups could have done. Especially if they'd thrown everybody at him. That would have been fun to see how well his groups held up. There's his Iraq group. We've seen that on one of the other videos. Trial guards. Is there anything we're showing with his trial guards? 6-win streak. Siren group. It's a 4-win streak with his Bonnie Tassie. 2-win streak with, yeah, it's Shamira. Shamira does not perform well against trial guards in any variation, it seems. Alright, well, let's take a quick look at all the numbers. Rankings. Alright, so we're number 1 in Legendary Guilds, then All-Stars, Rivendell, Stargaze, +5 Snake, Mordor, Adventures. Nazarick is our sister guild, Lost Souls, and Lord. So we have 2 of our guilds in the top 10, not bad. Individual contribution for the game 1 for our specific game. Round 1, it's Say, Ike, May. Round 2, Say, Yantron, Ike. Round 3, Yantron, me, Ike. Round 4, Say, me, Yantron. Round 5, Yantron, me, Ike. So, overall, is there individual rankings? Yeah, here we go. I ended up finishing 5th with 1600, Seraphim was 1660, Yantron 1660, Ike 1680, Say 1700. Let's go down the list. Just so, yeah, see there, the Arctic Circle didn't get a man on board until the 6th slot, which they ended up getting 6. Not bad. You know, and then Arctic Circle got a 2nd one, and then we're not going to get to any of ours until we get past their people. And then, oh yeah, we're just showing vanguards. We want to show all members, right? Let's see everybody, and that puts me at 5th. Grey Ninja, and then Nami is coming in at 9th. A non-vanguard, Whitebeard 10th, Immortal 11th, Calico Cat 12th. Then we got one of the other guilds, Eric, Kuro, and then one of our guys, Boss at 14, Frank at 15, Nico at 16, Mia at 17, Mdom at 18, Mashin 93 at 19, Cardinal at 20, Sinner's Wrath at 21, and I do not know how to say your name, and I apologize to my guildmate. I probably should ask that, but we just merged. I haven't got a chance to talk to everybody yet. So, but yeah, he's at 22, Cataract's at 23, Ag at 24, May at 25, Wayfarer at 26, Yuden at 27, Momosuke at 28, Yamato at 29, Smith at 30, Shanks at 31, and then we get some of the other guilds. I think that might be all of us. No, there's John at 38, Azrak at 39, Sean at 40, then the other guilds, and that might be all of our guys at that point, right? I think so. And it's just the other guilds. Yep, down to 63. So, just a big shout out to all my guildmates at BTGM. Very happy to do battle with you guys anytime. It's, I love this. I love this form. This is my favorite part of the game, is Clashfronts, where we get to fight as a team, right? And I like being a big part of it. Being a vanguard is fun for me, and I wish everybody got to experience being a vanguard. But you know, some people are just stronger than others, and some people spend more money than others, and I'm definitely one of those people that spent more money. So I am lucky enough to have a lot of powerful units, so I can be a vanguard for my guild and contribute to our success. But everybody plays this game differently. We have people that care more about PvE than PvP, obviously, and they kick my ass in Dream Realms, you know, and they in AFK stages. Like Say's a monster in AFK stages, and he's good at PvP too, as you can see, because he was #1 in our rankings. But yeah, it's a very diverse game, a lot of different interests across the board. So congratulations and good luck on all your fights.